Hello, what is going on? I got Radu on the call with me today. You know, crazy enough, both myself and Radu have both come back from injuries quite recently. And we're going to talk all about how to come back after a layoff. When you stop working out, whether it was from an injury, whether you just took time off the gym for some other reason. And we're going to kind of share our experiences with that. So Radu, why don't you kick it off, man, and start with, explaining some of the issues people face.
Well, it's interesting that both of us had the layoff this year, and I thought that we could maybe share our stories, put it in a way that benefit other people, make it general. And I know that we talked about this on the last podcast, and you told me something interesting, that while you were not lifting, you didn't miss lifting that much, but only when you went back to lifting, you realized just how much you liked it and you missed it. And I experienced the same thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know, it was weird. Like when I, after a few weeks without working out, I just kind of just felt normal not training, and I still had some discipline because I was doing fasting every day, so staying lean, and I was walking a lot, so I felt pretty good. But then in the back of my head, I just love building strength and muscle, and so kind of just sitting by for months and realizing that you're losing these gains kind of sucked. It's cool to kind of see how that physical change you go through when you do take a few months off lifting. It's funny because part of me felt like, oh, you know what? I didn't really lose that much muscle. I was actually surprised. I'm like, oh, I thought I would have lost more muscle than that. But you still see the difference,
It's interesting that you don't actually lose size on your measurements. Not that much. The measurements stay pretty much the same, even if you visually look a lot smaller.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that well. Because I did my arm measurements, and my arms went down about a quarter inch, I would say. But so yeah, my arms changed about half an inch, but that half inch looks way more. My chest maybe only changed an inch, but it looks like, the measurements, it's tricky. And that's one of the cool things, is that when you take time off training, the muscle comes faster than the strength. I was surprised. I thought that I would be going up like 5-10 pounds each workout until I get back to my previous weights. Because everyone says, muscle memory always comes back so fast, but it almost felt like I was starting from scratch again. When I think at one point I was doing like 225 for 5 or 6.
That's so bad.
But when I said I felt like I was starting from scratch, I meant I felt like I was starting from scratch, by building up to the weight again. I felt like the build up was just as hard as it was the first time I built up from there.
Sweet. I actually lost more strength than you, because I also was ill and I had the surgery, and it's pretty frustrating when you go back to the gym and you see that I actually started with 50% of the weights I was working with before. Yeah, and I was struggling to do bodyweight pull-ups.
Really?
Yeah, my last back workout, I think it was 3 sets of 6 pull-ups with my body weight, and it was a struggle.
So okay, that's I just want to say one point, because I think this is really relevant to the listeners. People listening that have dealt with this and they're trying to come back to the gym, you have to look at the experience as a fresh plate, a fresh slate. Because if you go to the gym and you start from the first session, you're already bummed out, like, oh my god, I can only lift 30s now. I used to be able to do 50s. Then that's gonna make the whole journey a negative experience, and you're not gonna be motivated. So it's important to go to the gym, find your new weights, and accept that, and be like, okay, you know what? Here's where I'm starting from. And think of it as a positive way, like, look how fast I'm gonna be able to get back to where I was before. Drive your pleasure from making those consistent gains. Even though you used to be able to do that easily, still focus on those new personal records as you get back to where you were before. And believe it or not, a lot of times when you get back to where you were before, you'll be able to go up a little bit higher.
So Greg, when you got back to lifting, how did you choose your starting weights?
I didn't want to go too heavy right away because I knew my muscles and joints weren't accustomed to lifting very heavy. So I kind of eased into it, and I wanted to, like, you know, be safe from my injury. So what I do is I just took a light weight, and I did, you know, like 12 to 15 reps. Then I added a little bit of weight, maybe 10% or whatever, and then I would do, you know, 10 to 12 reps, and then add a bit more weight and do like 8 reps, and then do one more set of like 6 reps of the heavier weight. So I did the standard pyramid training where you start light and do more reps, and then you add weight, and your reps start to come down. The reason I did that was because it just kind of it allowed me to fatigue myself before I get to a heavy weight. So if I trained the heavy set fresh, I'd be able to go a lot heavier, because I didn't want to go too heavy at first, and I also want to find out the right amount of weight. So that's how I trained for a lot of my exercises at first, almost a month, like, you know, 3-4 weeks. And then I started to bring reverse pyramid training back into my workout. I recommend using a program that allows you to make progress very fast. So, you know, like a 2-day split. So, you know, you're hitting those same movements every 4 to 5 days, and then, you know, the strength will come back really quick. So actually that's one big tip. You know, if you're coming back from an injury, you know, more frequency. You could even try doing 3 full body workouts a week for the first month, just so you're hitting those exercises so fresh, so you're always making those gains, and then go to a 2-day split for the next couple months, and then go to a 3-day split.
What I did is I actually did 4 days a week. I did chest, triceps, back, biceps, lower body, and then upper body.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that to work very well, because you're still increasing the frequency, so you train a muscle group more often, but you also have days where you focus specifically on a certain movement or body part. So on Monday I would focus on chest, on Tuesday I would focus on back, Thursday I would do legs, and then in the Friday workout I would have the standing press first, so I focused on that, but then an exercise for chest and back as well. So you get more volume, more frequency, and it helps you get back to your previous performance much faster.
Nice. That's a good 4-day split routine. And I'm trying to think, did we get it all? Did we share all the nuggets?
I think so.
Yeah, and you know what, like, when you come back from an injury, the muscle gains and strength are going to come. Like this summer when I was coming back from an injury, I was like, my eating wasn't perfect. I was drinking a lot and partying a lot, and I still was able to make all those gains. Well then, thank you so much, guys, for listening. If you enjoyed the video, the podcast, then hit the link below, hit the like button below. If you listen to the podcast, you won't have the like button. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.